Welcome back to First and Goal on YouTube, everybody. And today we are going to be matching the top 5 quarterback prospects with who I think will be their potential landing spots come draft day. This is going to be in order of the order that I think they will be drafted. So, kicking it off, the Jaguars are taking Trevor Lawrence. This isn't even a debate. I'm not here to debate this. This isn't my opinion. Trevor Lawrence has been locked into that number 1 spot ever since he stepped foot onto the field for his sophomore season. I mean, honestly, after that freshman year, who was debating that he was going to go number 1 overall when he eventually declared for the NFL draft, unless something went horribly wrong, and nothing did go horribly wrong. So, Trevor Lawrence, he's going number 1 overall. It's not a debate. Jacksonville Jaguars get the quarterback of their future here in the Clemson product, and honestly, he is the best quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck. He's that kind of Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, John Elway type of player that you just know he's going number 1 overall. There is no room for debate. That is just what is happening. Now, number 2 overall, I think the Detroit Lions, are going to take Zach Wilson from BYU, and I think there are going to be a couple of trades that enable this pick to happen. First of all, Matt Stafford is going to be traded this offseason. That's something that is just going to happen. That's not an opinion or whatever. There have been many rumors, or not rumors. Both parties, Matt Stafford and the front office of Detroit, has mutually decided to part ways via trade this offseason, so that's going to happen. I expect the compensation for Stafford to be somewhere around a first-round pick, maybe a little bit extra draft capital, but the main talking point of that trade that the Lions will be receiving is going to be a first-round pick. So I expect the Lions to use that other first-round pick and the 7th overall pick that they have currently to trade up with the Jets. That's a trade that I'm projecting with the Jets because I think the Jets are going to trade out and keep Sam Darnold and trying to kind of build around him for at least another year to give him actually something and let him see what he can do with pieces around him. But getting back to the Lions, I think the Lions are going to trade up with the Jets into that number 2 spot using the 2 first-round picks that they have, and then I think they get the quarterback of their future here in Zach Wilson. He's my number 2 quarterback prospect in the 2021 NFL Draft at this point. I think he's got a huge arm. All the arm talent in the world is there. He honestly probably has a better arm strength and deep ball accuracy than Trevor Lawrence. I mean, it's ridiculous what he can do throwing downfield and the downfield accuracy, the downfield ball placement. It is incredible, the things he can do to push the ball downfield. I think that's something that the Lions are really going to covet and something the Lions are really going to value. And, of course, we've seen that the Lions like their strong arm quarterbacks because Matt Stafford is that. I mean, Matt Stafford is an extremely strong arm quarterback, so Zach Wilson kind of fits that bill. And Wilson overall is just a great player and the second best quarterback prospect in this class. So Wilson to the Lions, I think that works perfectly. Now the 3rd quarterback off the board is going to be Justin Fields, and I think he is going to go number 4 overall to the Atlanta Falcons. Listen, the Matt Ryan era is over. He's getting older. Guys like Julio Jones might be traded. There are rumblings of Matt Ryan possibly being traded. That defense overall needs an entire overhaul. Overall, the team is going to receive an overhaul and a rebuilding phase. I don't want to say too much of rebuilding because there are pieces there. They have guys like A.J. Terrell, Calvin Ridley, Hayden Hurst. So there are guys on that offense and a couple guys on the defense, even though the defense is pretty poor. They do have some younger pieces and solid players on both sides of the football. But listen, the older guys, they're going to go. The Julio Joneses, the Matt Ryans of those teams, the guys that have kind of defined that organization for the last decade, they're going to be on their way out. And I see them here at 4. Okay, who better to bring in to be the new face of your franchise than obviously a new quarterback? The top 3 are in a league of their own. Well, Trevor Lawrence is in a league of his own. Then you have Zach Wilson and Justin Fields, who are both kind of that elite stature as well. could be a superstar, Pro Bowl, All-Pro kind of player for your team. So Justin Fields, he's a no-brainer here at 4 for the Falcons for me, because you bring in him, you let Matt Ryan mentor him for a year or so if you do decide to keep Matt Ryan for 2021. And I think that works out great for Fields, because there are a lot of there are a lot of just kinks to Justin Fields' game that he needs to work out. Like, I'm sure if you watched any tape on any game for Justin Fields, you will be able to pick out that he is very first-read reliant. I mean, very first-read reliant. You just turn on the tape, he hangs on to that first read, that first progression so long, and he gets, it's bad. That really needs to be improved. So obviously, that isn't a massive detriment, and it doesn't make him undraftable, clearly, because I still do have him going number 4 overall, but giving him a guy like Matt Ryan to mentor Justin Fields and to help him become more NFL ready and refine some of those kinks that he has in those games and refine his traits a little bit more, I think that would do wonders for Justin Fields' development and overall his ability to just be an elite quarterback down the road. I think Matt Ryan would be a great person to have on the same team as Justin Fields, given that he is a former MVP and he has made the playoffs multiple times, and he's been to a Super Bowl. So, obviously, a lot of experience. I think there's a lot of knowledge that he could pass on to Justin Fields if they were to draft him, and I think that's a great fit. So, number 8, I think the Panthers are going to draft Trey Lance out of North Dakota State. With Trey Lance, it's all about potential. He's only 17 career starts at North Dakota State, but you just watch any of those 17 games and you understand what the hype is. He is an athletic freak. I mean, the most athletic quarterback prospect in the class by far. He can run like crazy. It's not really a Lamar Jackson type of running where it's kind of that another running back on the field type of threat, but Trey Lance, he's the next best thing, absolutely, no doubt. He will add that running threat, kind of like a Deshaun Watson type of player, that extra threat that you actually do have to pay attention to and something you have to game plan for, so obviously that is a huge bonus, and the arm talent is there. Listen, you watch this Central Arkansas, I think, game. He played one game this season. I think it was against Central Arkansas. I'm not sure about that, though. He played one game this season. It wasn't his best game, but he came from behind to win. Listen, the arm talent was on display there. You see the arm strength for sure. He was throwing deep balls and accurately, too. So the potential, everything you need to see from a superstar quarterback, he's put on tape. But can he be consistent enough? Can he play at the highest level, given that he was playing at an FCS school? He wasn't even on a Division I team, so can he make that jump to the NFL, right? There's going to be a lot of things that defenses show him, like a lot of blitz packages, a lot of packages with the linebackers, and, of course, different coverage sets that defenses like to switch up so much now. So there are going to be a lot of things that he really didn't see at the college level that, might take a little bit time for him to adjust to. But that's perfect because you have Teddy Bridgewater as the Panthers. You're in a situation where, you can have Trey Lance sit on the bench for a little bit into his first year or maybe for the whole first year because you have Teddy Bridgewater under contract for the next 2 years. So that's a very nice security blanket. And Teddy Bridgewater, he's not the best quarterback by any means, but he's a veteran quarterback, and he's been into the playoffs. So there's definitely knowledge that he has that he can pass on to Trey Lance. Of course, he hasn't won MVP, he hasn't made the Super Bowl, he doesn't have mind-boggling stats or anything like that. But listen, any knowledge that you can pass on to a young superstar quarterback with potential is valuable because there are just some things that Trey Lance needs to work on just a little bit, just needs to gain and grasp more of what the NFL will be like, and then he's off and running. Then if he can do that, then you have your quarterback of the future if you are the Carolina Panthers. Oh, and also, the Panthers have Joe Brady as their offensive coordinator, and he has done wonders for quarterbacks. He was the offensive coordinator at LSU when Joe Burrow had his record-breaking season, the best season out of any college football quarterback in college football history, so that has to count for something right? Joe Brady has done a fantastic job with quarterbacks and fantastic jobs with all of his offenses overall. So, great offensive coordinator. That is a huge plus when drafting a young quarterback. Now, finally, the last quarterback we have here is Mac Jones. And honestly, I think Mac Jones is going to go to the Patriots. The Alabama product is heading to New England, kind of that Alabama, Nick Saban, Bill Belichick connection that they have going between the pros and college. Listen, Jones improved his draft stock maybe the most out of any FBS player in the entire Division I of college football. I mean, that's how good he was this season. He went from a guy like a game manager who can push the ball downfield and get it to his superstar weapons to a quarterback that is actively going to win you games if you are Alabama. So he played fantastic, and that showed. That was evident. He outplayed Kyle Trask when he went head-to-head with him, and Kyle Trask, for the better part of the season, looked like the best quarterback in college football. So Mac Jones was off the charts. Mac Jones was incredible this season in college football. It cannot be understated how good he was. And also, I think it can't be understated, and I think it's very valuable to the Patriots and the Patriots front office, as well as Bill Belichick, that Mac Jones fits the type of quarterback that they want. The Patriots have always been a team that they draft and sign guys that will work in their scheme and that they want to have because of a certain skill set that they possess. Mac Jones is that type of player that the Patriots, at the quarterback position, that the Patriots want. I mean, just look at Mac Jones' stature and the way he plays football and compare it to Tom Brady. It's almost identical. Mac Jones is not that athletic. He's not going to get out of the pocket, extend plays, but he's tough. He'll stand in the pocket, keep his eyes downfield, take the hits, and still throw it downfield in an accurate manner. That is exactly the type of player that Tom Brady is. And I think Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick are going to feel very comfortable getting that type of player back this year with Mac Jones and being able to develop him and grow him this season into their future quarterback, because honestly, I think the Patriots need to be done with the Cam Newton one-year rental experiment, and also they need to get their quarterback of the future in general. I just don't like the one-year rental ideas. I just don't like it. You need to bring in the quarterback of the future if you are Bill Belichick and New England. So those are my landing spots for my top 5 quarterbacks going into the 2021 NFL Draft. If you enjoyed this video, please share it with a friend, drop a like, and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. It helps the channel out a lot. Also, if you would like longer podcasts, go check out the podcast, First and Goal, with Sam Levine. That is available wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, wherever it is, you can find it. Also, go check out the website, firstandgoalfootballtalk.com, where I post articles almost daily on the website, where you can find anything about everything about anything going on in the football world. And also, there's going to be starting pretty much now, there's going to be a lot more draft content going up on the website, so make sure to check that out. And if you want to stay in the loop on everything that I post, record, broadcast, whatever it is, follow the Twitter, First and Goal FB. That is the Twitter handle. So, until next time, Sam Levine signing off.